how are you? Before we dive into the Tao, I'm going to bring up my desktop just to make it a little easier to see. So pardon me for just a second. We are working with Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, an aptly named title from Dr. Wayne Dyer. This is not an interpretation, or this is not a translation of the Tao. This is an interpretation of the Tao. There's a bit of a difference. Give me a second. For some reason, my live's not coming up on my computer. It's okay. Might be a little harder to read the comments, but you might have to put up with me squinting at the screen. Nothing we can't deal with, guys. I was given a copy of, there we go.
Great tasting vibations can't.
Sorry about that. I was given a copy of Alan Watts' The Tao, A Watercourse Way, along with his book on Zen, 1981. I was 16 years old. Girlfriend's mother gave it to me because I had expressed interest in Buddhism, not so much Taoism. Was fairly unfamiliar with Tao at the age of 16. However, she thought I would be interested, and she lent me those books. Wasn't soon after that, after I read them, my girlfriend broke up with me, as 16-year-old girlfriends are apt to do. And I really, really was upset that I would no longer have conversations with her mother, and I had to return the books. However, it sparked a lifelong interest in reading the Tao Te Ching, as well as Buddhism, as well as leading me more towards yoga. It wasn't long after that where I found a copy of Carlos Castaneda's The Teachings of Don Juan, which really re-immersed me in the enchantment of the world, re-enchantment with nature. And the Tao does the same thing. For whatever reason, I bought this book in the 2006, 2007. For whatever reason, I kept putting it aside and putting it aside. I read the Tao several times in between, but I kept putting this interpretation and suggestions from Wayne Dyer. I kept putting it off. For whatever reason, 53 days ago, I got the urge to pick this particular copy up, to not read the Tao, to not read another interpretation of the Tao, but to read this one. And I dug it out of my stack of books, where I have big stacks of books to be read, and this kept slipping down at the bottom for 15 years. So I dug at the bottom, I brought it out. I'm very glad that I did. I'm enjoying the suggestions that he offers, and I'm enjoying sharing them with you. That was a really long introduction, so let's dive right in. If I have ever even just a little sense, I should walk in the great way, and my only fear would be straying. The great way is very smooth and straight, and yet the people prefer devious paths. This is why the court is corrupt, the field lies in waste, the granaries are empty. Dressing magnificently, wearing a sharp sword, stuffing oneself with food and drink, amassing wealth to the extent of not knowing what to do with it, is being like a robber. I say this pomp at the expense of others is like boasting of thieves after a looting. This is not the Tao. Some pretty sharp social commentary from Lao Tzu almost 3,000 years ago. If it was true 3,000 years ago, how true do you think it is now, when we have not returned to a simpler way? Our lives have only gotten more complicated. They've gotten more complicated for a host of reasons, and it doesn't matter a single reason. People love to point fingers. It's because we have more free time, it's because of technology, it's because of this. However, at any moment, with wherever we find ourselves, we can return to the Tao. When he talks of the Great Way, Lao Tzu talks of the Great Way. Tao Te Ching literally means the way of the Tao. The Tao itself can't be described. As he begins, the very first verse, the Tao that can be told is not the true Tao. But we can experience it. We can experience it because it's who we are. The only way we do that is to relax and also think of the things that we aren't. In yoga, non-duality traditions, excuse me guys, there's a meditation called the neti meditation. Neti means not this. So when we say neti, we're literally naming the things that we aren't. So we come to the realization of what we are. If I think I'm the body, if I think I am the body, neti. I'm not the body. I'm not my eyes. I am the seeing. I'm not my tongue. I am the speaking. I am not my brain. I am the thinking. I'm not the heart. I am the life that animates the heart. Not this. Neti. When we are reduced to the nothingness itself, something that cannot be applied with a label, now we're getting somewhere. When we surrender understanding that, we're living in the mystery. Things begin to start making some sense. Our friend Barb is here, very, very early for Barb. She is, I believe, an hour behind. Good morning, my friend. I hope you're doing well. So this is social commentary from the Tao Te Ching, where they're talking about those who have a great amount and do absolutely nothing but sit on it, but invest it to get more, but spend for their own pleasure, are living in deceit. They're living in an illusion. They are not living in the great way. William says, welcome, Barb. Barb says, hi, William. Can we do anything about it? Here, I'm going to make a voting suggestion. Just a suggestion. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I'm going to tell you what to vote for. Vote for compassion. Vote for empathy. Vote for the simplicity of the message. If anyone is promising you retribution, revenge, if they are promising you exclusion for anyone else outside of your own circle of influence, that's not the great way. That's not the Tao. That's not the way of Jesus. That's not the way of Buddha. That's not the way of Allah. That is not the way of the Tao Te Ching. Our friend Optimab is here. Timo, how are you? Hey, are your friends still in town? Are they still visiting? William Hart says, oh, I got involved for streaming. Awesome. You got to let me know how I can visit, as all I have is, I have Twitter, I have Facebook, I have Instagram, YouTube, of course. That's awesome, William. Optimus says, I'm only lurking. We have guests here in Switzerland. Nice. Enjoy your time with your friends. Oh, well, William says I'm on YouTube. Let's me go live here now. Awesome. I'm looking forward to your first live stream. Optimop says, greeting back from our friends. Nice. I hope they're enjoying their time. I know they're enjoying their time. For one, how can you not enjoy beautiful, beautiful Switzerland? For two, how can you not enjoy your time with Timo and Sabine? And most especially, not exclusively, but most especially, how can you not enjoy your time with Bax? Barb says, I bet you never thought you would see me this early. I haven't. Most especially, I remember Wolf promising me that I would never ever see him at the 5 a.m. reading. We're halfway there. We got Barb here. Next move is to get Wolf here. I hope you're doing well this morning, Barb. Sometimes in the past 53 days, I have considered not reading a particular verse because it's political or because it contains very sharp social commentary. And I don't want to cause division here. So when I say, my suggestion, vote for compassion, vote for empathy, I'm not telling you who in particular who to vote for. I'm just suggesting what message resonates with the heart, what message resonates with the ego. You can vote from the ego, and guess what? You get more ego. You get an ego-filled world. You get a world of division. You get a world of turmoil. You get a world of profit for some, starvation for others. Or you can vote from the heart, and you get healing. You get compassion. You get empathy. You get love, unconditionally so. We love to talk of unconditional love. It's a difficult thing to practice. However, it is the fabric of reality itself. Reality simply accepts, and it accepts the concept that there can be such a thing as conditional love. That's the true nature of unconditional love, accepting even the seeming, but only seeming, opposite of itself. At any moment, we can return to the Tao. At any moment, we can return to the great original teachings of Jesus. We can return to the teachings of the Buddha. We can return to our own heart. We do that through forgiveness, forgiving the illusion that there can be the opposite of things, the opposite of one thing that truly can have no opposite. This is why A Course in Miracles says, only love is real. Nothing unreal can exist. And of course, someone will say, well, how about this? This isn't love. Then it doesn't truly exist. It's an illusion projected from the mind. It's an illusion projected from a deluded mind. We forgive it, and then we see only that which is real. We see only love. If we do that, people are drawn to that message, and they say, what is the secret that this person has? And then they practice, and then someone else practices, and thus the world is changed. This is why A Course in Miracles says, do not seek to change the world. Seek to change your perception of the world. And you do that through forgiveness. Barb says, I am in so much pain, I can't sleep. He is sleeping, the meds are not working. I'm sorry, Barb. Do you have a doctor's appointment soon? Maybe they can, I'm always hesitant, to think about stronger medicine. What if you called them? Barb says, not until next week. Barb says, I will phone in this AM. Good. Keep us posted, please. Barb, sending you prayer, sending you love. They open at 8 a.m. Definitely keep us posted. So I'm doing a little longer live streams in the morning. It used to be just reading the verse and then heading outside. However, the sun's coming up a little bit later each morning, so I don't have great sunlight in order to do my little nature filming. I love being out in the dark, though. I love being out in the dark before dawn. But it's tough missing all the life that starts stirring. I have a new camera that has night vision. I don't yet know how to use it. So I'm kind of waiting another 5 minutes. I'll head outside. Barb says she was burning around the surgery area. I've not slept yet. Man, I'm sorry to hear that, Barb. Yeah, if you'd let them know, maybe they'll see you sooner. Maybe you can get in there today. So any thoughts on verse 53 from the Tao Te Ching? Any thoughts on social commentary from almost 3,000 years ago that are as biting, as true, and as insightful today as they were all the way back then, even more so? However, the sad thing, when Lao Tzu wrote this, legend has it he was heading out of town. He was at the gates, leaving the kingdom, because he was fed up with what he was seeing. He knew that the kingdom had lost the Tao, lost the great way. They were no longer walking the path of the way. So he was leaving, and a gatekeeper stopped him and begged him, on your way, Just please leave us with some guidance so that the great way isn't lost. And very sadly, almost reluctantly, Mao Tzu agreed. It was written down, and here is the Tao Te Ching. That's how we got it. Legend has it. If it was so sad almost 3,000 years ago, how sad do you think it is now? How far have we strayed from the great way? How far have we strayed from the path of Jesus, which was simplicity itself? And yet now we rely on social commentary from churches, from pastors, from media, from authors, from all kinds of people that has absolutely nothing to do with the teachings of Jesus and has everything to do with the church itself, which stands for profit, division, things that aren't of the message of Jesus. And I'm not even Christian. However, I do have a relationship with Jesus. There's a difference. Barb says I could go to the ER, but when I phoned, they said that they were full and I'd have to go to another hospital that my doctors don't go to. I've been in that situation with my father and with myself. 2 years ago, I got Bell's palsy. Of course, I didn't know that at the time. And man, Mocha was concerned it was a stroke. Left side of my face went numb. Couldn't move my lip. I couldn't blink. And I was going to be taken to a hospital in Baltimore City that I did not want to go to. So I decided not to go, which was probably a mistake. If indeed I was having a stroke, I was pretty sure, man, a stroke can happen to anyone. But I had just finished a hard 20-minute session of burpees. I thought, if I was having a stroke, would I be able to do that? But then eventually, on Mocha's suggestion, I ended up going to a ER where my insurance was taken, and I was admitted immediately because they admit people who they think might be having a stroke into the hospital. It turned out it was Bell's palsy. Let's see. Barb said I had that once. It is not good not to go with that. Yeah. As I discovered, you need to get on medication quickly. Fortunately, it lasted about 3 weeks. I kept practicing face yoga as well as my breath work. It was harder because I couldn't do some of the breathing that I was doing at the time. I didn't miss a workout. Didn't miss a single day. It looked pretty funny when I was talking to the camera afterwards, but I got it done. Always enjoy sharing my morning with you guys, whoever shows up. Some mornings are really animated. People have lots of questions, some relevant to what I read, some completely off the wall. I enjoy them both, to be honest with you. If you guys haven't discovered, I can talk about almost anything. Barb said they told me that I would burn like before, but this is more radiation, and it's half my body burning and in pain. So I'm here. You might have to go to that other ER and deal with whatever doctors they have. At least they can access your information and make the best call. Whatever you decide to do, though, I'm sending you love, Barb. So it's almost 5:20. I think the sun's going to come up. I don't know when the sun's going to come up today. Let's find out really quick. Good old Google. Today the sunrise comes at 5:59. I have some time. I have 40 minutes. But again, I don't want to miss the pre-sunrise. That's a pretty powerful time. Right now, we are in the hour of Brahma Muhurta. This is the hour of God, according to yogic Vedic tradition. It's 4:19 for Barb. Yep, it's 5:19 for me. So Barb is an hour behind. I am in the future for Barb. The future looks bright here, Barb. In the future, you will be healed, you will be well, you will be pain-free. Brahma Muhurtai, the hour of God, the sacred hour. It's a fluid time, meaning it's not always at 5:20, that it is about 90 minutes before sunrise, 90 minutes to sunrise, as well as about 40 minutes to an hour after sunrise. So again, it's a fluid time. It's the hour of God. It's the most sacred time of the day. This is the hour of creation. If you want to pray, this is the time to pray, the hour of God. If you want to manifest something that you believe is absent from your life, the reason I say believe is nothing can truly be absent, because here's a lesson from A Course in Miracles. Thoughts leave not their source. Meaning, if you have a thought of something you wish to manifest, it must be present in thought first. And that thought cannot leave its source, meaning that you manifest from the source itself. So first you visualize. First you know it has to be a possibility. And then you bring it into fruition. You allow it. This is the time to do it. This hour, Brahma Muhurtai, the hour of God. Barb says she's keeping the faith, and I feel that God has something for me, and I must get through this to show people that love and prayers will help everyone. It's a beautiful message, Barb. Beautiful message. Course in Miracles offers that the entire reason for, the only lesson from the cross, is that we can all survive our own crucifixion. That Jesus was showing that we will all be crucified in life. When we all be given these moments where we feel the world is against us, and we can all survive our own crucifixion. We can all survive our own moment on the cross. Barb says, my breathing is off. Can't do the 5-3-7. Can you do 4-3-4? Very simple. Breathing in for count of 4. Hold for count of 3. Breathing out for count of 4. You can even skip the retention. Can you do 4-4? Breathing in for 4. Just a brief pause. Exhaling for 4. The briefest pause and repeating. So I'm going to get ready, guys. Barb says breathing even hurts, but I will try. Sometimes the best method is the easiest and the simplest. Can you just notice breathing in through my nose, breathing out through my nose? Notice when the breath ends, when the in-breath ends. Notice that briefest pause between the breath. That's the holy pause, the sacred pause. That's the pause of potentiality where anything can happen. And then can you notice breathing out? Don't worry about how long it takes. I'm breathing in through my nose. Briefest pause. I'm exhaling through my nose. Briefest pause. Don't force the breath. Allow yourself to be breathed. You are the noticer of the breath. You're being breathed. You're being released. You're being breathed. You're being released. You don't have to do anything, but simply be the witness to the breath. If the breath is shallow, allow it to be shallow. If the breath is whatever, you just allow it to be whatever. Your belly rises, your belly falls. Barb says, talk to you later. Blessings. Thank you for talking to me. I feel so alone. You're not alone, my friend. I'm with you. And as I take my walk this morning, remember this is the hour of God. I won't be walking alone because I'm going to be carrying you with me. I'm going to be sending you love. I'm going to be using my hour of God, my Brahma Muhurtai, to be sending you prayers, to be keeping you company. That in this time, in this hour of God, there's absolutely no separation between me and you. There's absolutely no separation between me, you, and God. And we can experience it in this holy hour. You're up this early for a reason, Barb, not just for the experience of pain, but to experience the holiness of this hour and the fact that you are connected with your friend, me, your friend William, and all the other friends that love you so much. With that, guys, I'm going to see you all later. I'll be back. I'll be live later. I'm always live. Every day. Come on by and say hi. Blessings to you, Barbs. Take care, guys.